Hi everyone, Timothy Bucktano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of the new self-titled Royal Blood album. This is the debut full-length album of Brighton alternative rock and hard rock band Royal Blood, which features the drum and bass guitar stylings of Ben Thatcher and Michael Kerr. You might already know the band through such singles as Come On Over and Figure It Out and Little Monster or Out of the Black. If you take a listen to Royal Blood's music, you're going to hear a lot of drum beats that feel like they're coming from the old school of classic rock or alternative rock in the 90s. The recording of the drums sounds very modern, it's very punchy. And then on top of these drums are many heavy, buzzing, slightly sinister at times bass riffs. These bass riffs are very thick, they're very distorted. Sometimes it sounds like we're hearing a bit of a bass overdub thing, like we're getting a distorted bass signal and then maybe a clean signal to play underneath and sound very clean, very resonant, and they're kind of mixed together. Basically, the bass guitar, being the only electric guitar type instrument in the mix, is mimicking the sound of a regular guitar. Imagine, if you will, the instrumental stylings of a band like Death from Above 1979 mixed with the songwriting style of like Queens of the Stone Age. Really cool idea in theory. However, I've been having a really difficult time getting into one of this album's lead tracks, Out of the Black, one of the band's biggest songs, a track that, given its popularity, you would think this is the easiest song to get into, or the key song to enjoy, even if you don't really enjoy the rest of the record. But personally, I'm just having a hard time seeing the hype behind this track, especially given its incredibly stiff intro riff and drum syncopation, plus a singing voice I couldn't pick out of a lineup to save my life, and some verses that are pretty throwaway, lyrically and melodically. The verses on this track only feel like a very underwhelming placeholder. It's the part that isn't really grabbing your attention, so that when the chorus comes around, it feels like an explosion, like, whoa, I've just been grabbed. It kind of feels like the song has just gotten exciting when it's only gone from boring to mildly interesting. And this formula is essentially repeated on song after song after song. On tracks like Come On Over, where we get another bass line that feels like it could have come straight from a Death from Above 1979 song, with some wailing bass riffs that feel a little Hendrix-esque. And these very obvious similarities only become greater on tracks like Bloodhands, where the singing is like a dead ringer for a vocal that you would find on a 2000s era White Stripes album. It literally sounds like a song Jack White has written. And then 10 Ton Skeleton, this track should have just been on the new DFA 1979 record. I don't mind a bit of rock revivalism, but it feels like Royal Blood at times is writing songs completely off of the back of the 2000s rock revivalism. The Stripes, the Keys, the Kills, and Royal Blood come through with significantly less grit, virtuosity, songwriting ability, personality, and edge than these bands. It's like listening to a really watered down copy of a Xerox. To me, all this record really has are some passable performances, some overly simple songs, and some heavy production. And even these likable things aren't even used in the best of taste, like on the track Little Monster. Is this an Audioslave album? Where did this riff come from? The White Stripes may have certainly had their commercial moments on records like Get Behind Me, Satan, or on Elephant, but I have never heard a band more desperate to appeal to the alternative rock radio market than Royal Blood on this song. The whole duo thing is cool. Some of my favorite acts in rock music happen to be duos, but without some significant overdubbing and some really good songwriting, there's not much to the tracks Royal Blood delivers on this album. Because this album is so lacking in anything original, exciting, or gutsy that it completely negates the very baseline positive things this record has going on for it. I'm feeling a strong 4 to a light 5 on this thing. Transition, if you've given this record a listen, what did you think of it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Why? What do you think I should review next? And that's it. Anthony Fantano, music, 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 forever.